So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cardano Community Podcast. Tonight, I just wanted to do a very brief video because I know within the one of the Twitter channels that I'm in, I got the question about how does someone actually choose, a Cardano stake pool. And while there are many other videos out there, many other articles that you can find explaining how to choose a Cardano stake pool, I figured, let me do a topic on that. Let me share something with the community that I feel have some value as well. So, apologies if I just have some light here. So if you can't see me well, yeah, sorry about that. Let me know. Um, let's see the comments. Um, okay, so before we actually get to that part, I just wanted to say, today I had a really great conversation with my sister. That's my youngest sister. She, one of the things that she reminded me, she said, our father, before he passed in his younger years, one of the things that he really instilled in us is to give something back, to the community. And one of the things that he did, and we maybe as kids you don't really realize you mean you know your parents, but you really don't know your parents. Is that we found out that he actually did a voluntary work on St. Martin for about I think about 15 years. He worked with men of concern. That's what he called them men of concern, kind of like an outreach center. And his passion was really to bring the gospel to people who really need it. And he figured, these are men of concern. These are men who have some sort of problems, um, be it mental, physical, or whatever, you know, economic. Uh, he went and gave his time to those people. Besides that, he also counseled numerous marriages. He pastored numerous people in the church. So he was very active and also very loved person. So she reminded me of that today, and I must say I'm really, I'm really grateful, to for her to remind me of these things. But anyhow, um, yeah, today also we launched a new Cardano Tunes. Just in case you haven't seen it, just gonna show you here. We actually what happened is I had this very weird idea because Duncan Coots is yeah, who doesn't know Duncan Coots? I mean, if you've been in the Cardano ecosystem as long as I have been, or even if you're just joining, you must have seen videos where with Duncan Coots and showing himself, telling about the Shelly, how it went, about the network, about this and that, and everyone loves Duncan, and so I figured, let's do an interview with him. So what we did, um, we actually look up an interview, a real interview with Duncan, and we try to see if we can bring that to the Cardano tunes. So it's just a very simple thing, just helping you to get to know him and who he is, a bit about his background and stuff. And yeah, I just hope that you like it. It's just our little way of adding value to Cardano, adding value to the community, and just doing something, something fun, and helping people to who's new to the community as well to um, yeah, to learn a little bit more about what Cardano is. So there's much more coming out. We're actually working together with one of the guys, and yeah, trying to see if he can help out or scale, more and get us more content basically out there. So how that works is I do the scripting myself, and he does the drawings and those kind of stuff, the cartoons. But it's really nice working with him. He's a really great guy. He's from Nigeria, and yeah, as obviously we have a very strong African focus. So when we work with someone, we try to see if we can find someone from the ground, someone from African, one of the African countries that we can actually work with, and support. So this is one way as well, of us giving back, to the community, and definitely African focused. So the topic of today is about how do you actually choose a Cardano stake pool. That's something that I really wanted to get into. And right now the network counts over 1,400 Cardano stake pools. And of course, not all of them are unique stake pools, because some of them are actually multiple stake pools owned by just a single individual or a couple of them. I know you guys have seen me on Twitter, and I've come down pretty hard on some of those guys. But yes, apologies for that. I don't want anyone to feel that I am against that. Definitely not. It's just that I feel that it's not the time now. We need a healthy network. We need to go to a true decentralized network and not an artificial one where, let's say, the majority of the pools are actually being ran by a couple operators. So that's something that we definitely have to be mindful of, when we're trying uh, to grow and to grow a healthy network and become truly, truly, truly decentralized. So, with over 1,400 total stake pools out there, how do you know which pool you should actually choose? Very different, very, very simple. The question you should ask yourself is, what stake pool out there actually aligns with with my world vision? What stake pool out there actually aligns with with my standards? And with so many stake pools out there, there's definitely one or two that you might find aligning with who you are as a person, who actually does things that you support or that you stand behind or can stand behind. uh Now, one of the pools that I personally like as well, is the Proof of Africa. Proof of Africa, one of the things that they're doing is to really help developers. On in Africa, they're putting in all of the effort to grow their, of course, grow their business, but at the same time, they're planning on um, training African developers on the ground, living in Africa, to build on Cardano. That's one. So you can focus. Hi, good evening there. You're right, indeed. Pools with a purpose. I'll come to that point. Uh, so one of the things you can do is focus on pools that are, let's say, uh, focus on training developers, pools that are focused on developing on the platform. And another type of pools that you can actually focus on is pools with a purpose. And those pools, we have so many of those coming out. We have Husky Pool, we have actually Zoe Pool. I find that as well because she's really doing great work in Africa. If you think about it, there's many, many women, who many talented African women, and those are to have a pool that's have a purpose of empowering women, in blockchain, and training them, African women. I do feel that those type of pools, we should also give them, a level of support. Now, of course, you also have the pools that are just strictly say, hey, listen, we're a business. We just want to generate profit, and while doing that, we just want to provide you a staking service. That's it. The most reliable staking service that you can find. And they're not really concerned about giving back to the community or whatever. They'll say, hey, that's up to someone else, some other pool to do, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's up to you as a delegator to find a pool that aligns with who you are and your values. A pool that you feel, hey, that's a pool that I want to stand behind and support. Now, I wouldn't be sitting here if I wouldn't promote my pool as well. That's We Can Hit, ticker WEQNT. We're a purpose-driven pool. And just to give you a little bit background how it actually came about a year ago, I had a conversation with Joshua Akpan. from Nigeria. He's also an ambassador, Cardano ambassador, and he's the guy leading the Proof of Africa pool. So I was in my car speaking with him, and he explained to me, Denise, I cannot set up a pool in Nigeria because the electricity is so unstable. I mean, my pool may be up today, and a couple hours from now, the electricity will go. So there is no doing a stake pool business here in Nigeria. So I figured, wait a second, um, what if you guys actually go solar? Would that help? He said, nah, because that's expensive. And that's basically how the idea kind of evolved, went ahead and ahead. And that's how I kind of came up with the idea of helping people in developing countries with basic solar lighting. We started out actually with the battery pack, and then it kind of evolved. I ordered a few of those, and then I realized, nah, this is not going to be it. So I kind of continued the search to find a much better solution, something that would be suitable to provide people decent lighting. And there's where we actually came up with the current light bulbs that we actually provide to people in Kenya, in Uganda, Ethiopia, and Southern Sudan. So uh, at the same time, one of the elders in my church, what he did, he was actually working with someone in Kenya, working with John, and he worked with John for over 10 years. And so I spoke to him. I told him, hey, can you hook me up with someone in Kenya? In Kenya, who I can work with. So he showed me, a couple pictures about, about the work that they're doing. Explained to me that, in Kenya, it's not uncommon to find a child alongside the road, and just abandoned by its parent. And what John does is actually he has this church, and he actually, they go out, they'll find now and again, orphans, children, alongside the street, abandoned by their parent, and he would take them into his ministry, and he would actually nurture them, give them all the necessary things that they need, to become, or let's just raise them in his own community, his own house, and his own church. And at the same time, he also does a lot, for prisoners and for the poor within the community. So Pete, the elder in my church, he actually connected us together, and that's how basically the relationship got established. So I contacted him. He was very reluctant to answer my WhatsApps, but then after I explained to him who I was and how I got to know him, he engaged, and that was last year. I think it was last year, August or September. And ever since, we've been speaking to each other on a weekly basis. Last year, November, with the stake pool, we actually shipped our very first two solar lighting bulbs. And so I told him, John, uh, the light bulbs that we have, these are intended strictly and solely for the people who has nothing. So when I say we're supporting the poor people there, it's not for you, it's not for your family, it's not for your friends. These are for people who really need it. And I told him that I'm gonna hold you accountable for every single bulb that we send you. Because I have to trust you when I tell you that they're for those people, and you tell me that you'll make sure that the bulbs get to those people. I have to trust that you'll do that. He said, my brother, I've worked for many years with Pete van der Oever. He lives in the Netherlands. He's, the elder in your church. I will make sure that this is done. I will give you pictures. You will get, small, short video clips of the bulbs being delivered to the people, because it is very important. Now, the added value to that, of course, is that we give the bulbs, but the bulbs are also, brought with the gospel, and that's something that I find very important as well. Um, so when So as a purpose driven stake pool, we also find it extremely important to give back to the community. We have a very strong focus in Africa. You know, the thing is, when you empower someone, when you give someone the opportunity to rise above, let's say their current situation, be it poverty, you also give them you give them a future. And yes, I know it may sound kind of strange. How does a lighting bulb do that? Now, first of all, if you have kids, you're enabling your kids to do their homework, also in the evenings, with just decent lighting. You can sit around the table, maybe just, or wherever it may be, with a decent lighting, have a great conversation with your family, with your kids. But yes, I know it's lighting, but it's not the only thing that we're planning to do. I mean, we're not planning, actually, the lighting, we're already doing that. But we're also planning on shipping schooling materials for the kids. John has, even this week, again, he's contacted me and let me know, brother, please don't forget the kids. We need school supplies for school materials for the kids. So what I did just before we entered into this lockdown, and a lot of those stores got closed. Uh, I went to one of the budget stores and took some pictures of the prices, like for pencils, pens, writing books, school bags, all of these materials that the kids will need to go to school. And I said, hey, I can get you five of those writing books, and shipped out to you. I mean, five of them cost me less than €1. And that is so amazing, that we can have that we finally have the opportunity, to give back something. Those kids, think about it, those kids, who would you normally not have that chance of, decent education, go to school, and basically given a chance and a future, can finally have, some can finally have some sort of perspective. And I'm grateful that we're, placed in a situation that we can do that. Now, stake pool WEQNT, as I mentioned, we don't only ship bulbs, the solar powered bulbs. Nah, we're planning to do much more than that. Because giving back is not only just giving bulbs, but it's also giving it with a clear vision, a clear vision of, um, you know, where do you want to go with this? What do you want to achieve? Think about it. If you can help, even if you can help 100 kids, you know, good education, water, light, you know, what could become of them in the future? These might very well be, the kids who, let's say, grow up uh, beyond and above, their, let's say, poverty in their youth, and give back to their community. you know um, Learn a certain skill or trade or whatever, and use those skills to actually better the people in his community where he grew up. Hey, I have to say, I myself, I didn't grow up in wealth, so I cannot forget, where I came from, and I cannot forget, that there are also people in need. And at the same time, and I cannot forget, the people who've also helped my mother and my father, help us, so it's okay to give back, and that's something that I strongly believe. So another thing that we've actually done is we've set aside 10,000 ADA for when the price of ADA appreciates. And those 10,000 ADA is reserved solely for drilling water wells. So I contacted John and asked him, John, how much would it cost to dig, drill, and just install a whole water well, in Kenya? He said, my brother, it's going to cost, I think he said, 14,000 US dollars. That's just for the regular hand pump water well. So he told me there's also another type, and that's the solar powered water well. So I asked him, how much does that cost? He said that's going to cost 24,000 US dollar. So at that point, I figured that's pretty expensive. I don't have that money, So, but I do believe, that the price of ADA will appreciate much further than where it is right now, and it will enable us to achieve those goals. So when I say drill water wells and supply, he told me one water well is good enough to supply about 3,000 people, with water. So for me, that's like, wow, that's something that I love to do, but yeah, I cannot do it on my own. Of course, I have that 10,000 ADA reserved for this, but yeah, we do need, the price to appreciate further than what it is now in order to make that possible. Um, and then the question is, which one would you choose, the hand pump or the solar? It depends on what John, what he feels is best. But I told him, John, 14,000 uh, US dollar for, the water well is a lot. I told him, is it possible for you to actually negotiate uh, a sharp price, for us, so that, if we can bring that price down, then it would potentially mean that we'll have more money left to maybe even drill a second well or a third well even, and preferably I'd like to see a well in Kenya. I'd like to see a well in Uganda, one in southern Sudan and in Ethiopia as well. Just giving back to those communities, and at the same time continue the work we've already started with distributing the solar powered lighting bulbs, because that's what we're doing. So when I mentioned in the beginning about how to choose a stake pool, I think it's good to consider, what are these stake pool actually doing to live out the principles, of Cardano. What are these stake pool actually doing to give back, not only to the community, but what are they also doing to give back to humanity? You know, um, we can say, yes, we have a business, and yes, WEQNT is a business. We also want to grow, but at the same time, we do not want to neglect. We do not want to forget, that there's also people in this world around us that are uh, in more need than we are. So there are many other stake pools out there. I mean, I'm also part of an alliance, the alliance stake pool, but I'm also part of the mission driven stake pools, the MDP. And these are guys. I mean, I see, their communications in Telegram, on Twitter. These are guys. They work really hard to try to market their pools. They try really hard, to get some sort of trust, from delegators, and letting hey, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing, and you can trust us. We're no scams, and we do what we say that we do, and you can hold us accountable for that. So the question to come back on that is, how do you choose a stake pool? It's very simple. It's up to you. It's 100% up to you. Do you want to support, a stake pool, or just only look at the ROI? Sure, that's up to you. you know but I can tell you one thing: if you give that one stake pool a chance, and you help him or her increase her stake. Look at VI as an example. Help her increase her stake, help her grow. She'll be able to do much more, give back as well. She's pledged, to support also charity. And with little that she have, she's still giving away. And that's something that I feel that should be said. We have larger stake pools that are not giving anything away, and and everyone seems to be supporting them. Um, and you have a lot of stake pools struggling, but have the best intentions, and actually really, let's say, upholding the standards, that Cardano was actually built on and built for. So yeah, when considering how to choose a stake pool, I would say definitely seek out what those stake pools are actually doing. You know, um, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's on YouTube. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who is yeah, who is a public figure, hey, not necessarily. But there are definitely a lot of great stake pools out there doing great work, and it's worth looking at them. Uh, Let me see. Even on pooltool.pm, um, yeah, pooltool.io, there's a section where you can actually choose um, uh, pool portfolios. And if I'm correct, the mission driven pools are also on there. And um, hopefully in the coming week, the Stake Pool Alliance will also be on there as well. I'm working actually on the upload file to get that done, so that every single stake pool operator within the alliance uh, will be visible to all of the delegators as well. So please give them a look up, see who they are, what kind of work they're doing, and if you'd like to support them, please do. Um, yeah, I find it very important as well. That we support um, the purpose driven or mission driven stake pools. Um, yeah, they're needing of support. There's so many pools out there, who are not only willing to, but are actually giving back, to the community, and not only the community, but also, as I mentioned earlier, to humanity. Who are willing to go above and beyond. What we see a lot of the just for-profit pools do. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very important to be a for-profit pool, because remember, you have to be sustainable, right? I mean, look at as an example, look at WEQNT. We're also a for-profit pool. We have to grow. There will come a point where the minimum pledge will be instated, right? And the question is, will you have sufficient pledge, to remain in the game? So you have to grow. You can use all of your rewards, all of your stake, to do charity, but in the end, you will have to shut down. So you have to have a very good strategy to grow, but at the same time be wise and know how to give. Not just not keep everything for yourself. So please, um, it's just a plea, to you, the delegators, ADA holders. Please consider also the mission-driven pools, the purpose-driven pools, and if you like, also stake pool WEQNT. That's my pool. You know what I do. We're very open about that. We're very active and open about that. Let's see. So yeah, thank you very much, for supporting us. Thank you very much for supporting other mission-driven pools. Thank you very much for supporting other purpose-driven pools, because they're really in need of your help. Let's see here, we have a question. Crypto that doesn't create value, a product and services. We might as well use government, use fiat. That's correct. I agree with you, man. That's correct. This can show the added value that we can have, to society. Um, let I remember what we said. There's this in the Bible. I think, remember, with that coin from the fish, Jesus said, "Give back, give back to Caesar what's Caesar's." Right? Crypto was created for all of us. And I think that's us. Let's give back. Let's use that what was created for us to give back to each other. I'll support each other. Hey Gary, welcome, man. Welcome. I was just talking about the yeah, this is supporting mission-driven stake pools or purpose-driven stake pools. I think it's extremely important. You know that we support them. But I must say, don't get me wrong, they're also. I'm not saying all of them are, but I do believe that in between, let's say maybe the 200 or 300 mission driven stake pool, there might be maybe one bad fish. So it's very good also to ask them questions. Reach out to them, see how active they are. How open they are. What are they actually doing? What are they proving? There must be some sort of proof that they are doing something. So I would definitely advise uh, getting in contact with those type of pools. I mean, I was speaking to Joshua just the other day, and I actually showed him. Yeah. Now I'm wondering, should I actually say that or not? Yeah. Anyhow, I actually showed him, one of the charity pools uh, hacked my accounts. Hacked one of my accounts and tweeted from it. So yeah, not. I showed him. I told him, hey, you have to be very careful because not every pool that says we have good intentions, might actually be true. So yeah, but how do you filter that out? You have to follow them, see what kind of work they do, and hold them accountable. If they say they're gonna do it, you make sure you follow them. You ask them, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what did you do with that stake, or what did you do with those rewards, or what's up with the mission? Yeah. But anyhow, I it's just one of the adventures that I've experienced. They shouldn't have mentioned it probably, but it's a fact, and I know it's true. I've thought of mission driven, creating ADA endowment for family villages, create contract that keeps ADA in their pools and can use staking rewards for community improvement projects. Gary, you just touched a very great topic there. Just the other day, I tweeted within the Dutch channel that I of a plan, something that I'm actually planning on doing. Uh, but first, I need to work together with John to get him set up on Coinbase. I sent him to the tutorial how he can link his bank account to his Coinbase account. So first, I got him set up on on Coinbase, and now he needs to link his account. So once he gets that done, we're gonna try and see do. I'm gonna send him some crypto, and then have him convert that into fiat, into Kenyan shilling. And once we have been able to successfully do that, then the plan that I have is actually uh, support support certain families financially. When I say families, I mean, we're not only giving the lights, to solar lighting bulbs to people, but I also want to try to see if we can support families with, like maybe one or two kids, whatever. And but yeah, that's a plan that I have. Ah, could we get enough ADA donations? Get Dev to create a multi-sig contract, creating endowment that spin off ADA that could cash spin off that could be cash equivalent. I'm pretty sure that's possible, Gary. I'm pretty sure that is. I haven't seen it yet, but I can ask around for you actually to see if there's anyone who is working on this or has any like that's my wife, has any intention of doing something like that. Indeed, I agree with you. We should have a long-term vision for ADA. Definitely, I agree. Think it could be a model. Definitely requires multi-sig capabilities to prevent potential abuse. Yes, uh, I know that they were working on it. Uh, Charles did mention multiple times multi-sig. In- Okay. Yeah. I was just notified that it's 10 o'clock, over 10 o'clock. So I would have to shut down in a bit. Sorry about that, guys. Anyhow, about the multi-sig, yes, that's definitely coming. Better yet, I think it's already there, but I'm not sure. I can ask around one of the guys, see how that's going, but it is definitely. Hey, Gary, let's catch up on that. I'm pretty sure that myself and others would be very interested in doing such a proposal. So yeah, let's do that. Definitely. Um, as I mentioned, I don't have that much time because it's past 10 o'clock here. Kids are sleeping, and yeah, we're getting actually ready to retire. Definitely, definitely, family before Cardano. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy the comics that I brought out today. Check out our Twitter. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, a lot of fun, scripting and working on that. So um, yeah, until next time, take care. And wait a second, I think I have one message for our delegates, and that is, hold on. That's thank you for staking with WEQNT. Love that. Anyway, hey guys, have a great evening. And again, until next time, take care.